Imagine you're standing on a subway platform and trains are flying past you. Some of those trains say, "You're not good enough. This is going to fail." They're judging you. This always happens. They don't respect you. Those trains are your thoughts. But here's the mistake that most people make. They think they are the train. You're not. You're the one who's standing on the platform, and every thought that passes by is a train you can either step onto or let pass. Your brain is wired for survival, not happiness. And that's why negative thoughts feel louder. Your brain is lying to you and you believe it every day. Today, we're going to break down why negative thoughts happen, why they stick, what do the religions of the world say about negative thoughts, how to retrain your mind. One has to realize that just because you think it doesn't make it true. Your mind's job is survival, not peace. Your brain scans for danger, comparison, rejection, failure. It overestimates threat. It predicts worst-case scenarios. It wants control in uncertainty. Your mind isn't broken. It's just doing its job. The problem? It doesn't know when to stop. Negative thoughts often trigger stress, which leads to cortisol spikes. So we escape or soothe ourselves with dopamine hits, such as with food, distractions, binge watching, shopping, and of course, doom scrolling. We pacify our minds instead of training the mind. So if this is biological, what do some of the ancient traditions say about it? Religious psychology, such as in Hinduism, negative thoughts arise from ignorance, also known as avidya, and attachment. The Bhagavad Gita teaches that the restless mind creates suffering. The solution? Meditation, also known as dhyana, self-discipline, yoga, detachment from outcomes. The mind must be trained. In Sikhism, they have negative thoughts, which they call five thieves: lust, anger, greed, pride, attachment. Ego separates a person from God, Vaheguru. The solution is Nam Simran, the remembrance of God, or Seva, which is selfless service, humility, and Sangat, which is community. In Judaism, the core idea is inclination toward negativity, selfishness, also known as Yetzer Hara. Negative thoughts are part of human nature, not proof of failure. The solution, what they offer in Judaism, is conscious choice toward good, study of the Torah, ethical action. In Christianity, in 2 Corinthians 10:5, it states, "Take every thought captive to obey Christ. Not every thought aligns with the truth." Negative thoughts can stem from temptation, fear, or lack of trust in God. The solution? Do not conform to the pattern of this world. Be transformed by renewing of the mind, as mentioned in Romans 12:2. Transformation of your mind, discernment, leads to right action. Replacing lies with truth, prayer and surrender, faith over fear, gratitude. In Islam, in the holy book of Quran, in Surah Nas, it mentions, "From the evil of the whisperer who whispers in the hearts of mankind." So this is alluding to external suggestions, not who you are. In Surah Yusuf, the chapter Joseph, it states, "Indeed, the soul is inclined toward evil." You are not held responsible for your thoughts. Accountability begins with intention and action. In a separate chapter, Hujurat, it mentions, "Avoid much suspicion. Indeed, some suspicion is sin." This addresses paranoia, mental narratives without evidence. The Quran addresses negative thoughts with psychological depth. Passive thoughts, whispers, assumptions, and intentional inner state. The solution it offers is seek refuge from Satan. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Turn attention back to God. Zikr. In another chapter, it mentions in Surah Rad, "Verily, in the remembrance of God do hearts find rest." It regulates fear, anxiety, anger, overthinking, enforces gratitude and trust. In Buddhism, it teaches you that the negative thoughts are not you. They are conditioned mental patterns. In Buddhism, it mentions four noble truths that include suffering, also known as dukkha. Suffering is caused by craving and attachment, and the suffering can end. Buddhism teaches you that to treat negative thoughts, you observe them and you don't fight them through meditation, also known as vipassana. You notice the thought, label it, and you let it pass. You don't identify with it. It is a thought, not reality. Thoughts arise and pass like clouds. Clinging to them causes suffering. You don't push away, you don't cling, you just observe. Practicing meditation helps counter anger, jealousy, and the harsh self-criticism. You actively cultivate compassion towards yourself, others, and even difficult people. The problem is not the thought. The problem is attachment to the thought. And the practical Buddhist strategy is notice it, name it, breathe, let it dissolve, and then return to the present moment. Across all these civilizations and cultures, one message has been consistent. Just because you think it, it doesn't make it true. Our ancestors knew something modern culture forgot. The mind must be trained. So why does labeling the thought help? Unlabeled thoughts control you. Labeled thoughts lose power. Now, what are some of those most common labels that we all experience? Biggest one, catastrophizing. I made a mistake. I'm going to lose my job because of that. Now, if you made a mistake, the thought process should be, I'll correct it and learn from it. Another issue that we see is all or nothing. If I can't do this perfectly, I couldn't do it at all. In reality, progress is still valuable, even if it's imperfect. Another thought that we usually experience is mind reading. If you send somebody a message, they didn't reply to my message. They must be ignoring me or upset with me. So you have to reframe the thought. You have to give others the benefit of the doubt that there could be other possible reasons. Another thought is personalization, taking things personally, blaming yourself for things which are out of your control, taking excessive responsibility. You have to reframe your thinking again. It's not all on me. There are many other factors involved. Another thought is generalization. I failed this exam. I always fail. I'm a failure. Reframe that thought. One setback does not define my future performance. Another thought is emotional reasoning. If I feel something, emotional response that I'm feeling must be true. And then you start getting anxious and something bad is about to happen. The feeling does not equal prediction. Another thought is the fortune telling, predicting a negative future as a fact. This podcast won't do well, or no one will care. You're predicting failure without any evidence. So what you need to do is focus on the quality and consistency, the should statements. That's another thought that we also always experience. I should be better. I should be doing this. I should be stronger than this. We as humans have rigid internal rules that create guilt, but it's okay to struggle. Growth isn't linear. The mental filter ignores the positives and only focuses on the negatives. We might receive 10 compliments and one negative. However, we tend to focus on the one negative. One critique does not erase multiple positives. Another thought that we also experience is labeling. I forgot to do something, so therefore I'm an idiot, or I'm not smart enough. So one behavior leads to a harsh global identity of yourself. In that aspect, you need to reframe that just because I forgot something, that does not define my intelligence. When you catch the thought, say it out loud. Hey, this is a catastrophizing thought, or this one is a mind reading thought. When you name it, you tame it. So the techniques are notice it, name it, breathe, let it dissolve, and then return to the present moment. Observe the thought without any engagement. Labeling it that this is a fear thought or this is a comparison thought. Challenge it or question it. Is this true or made up? What is the evidence for this or against it? A realistic correction. Another approach is interrupting the loop. So if you're caught in that loop where you're just always thinking negative or you're always having anxiety, slow nasal breathing, 4 to 6 breaths per minute. Use your senses. Think of 3 things that you see, 2 things that you hear, 1 thing that you feel. This will create a short physical reset, a quick workout. Do some push-ups, do sit-ups, or throw some cold water on your face. Call someone. Do a 10-minute task. Serve somebody. Strategies to use is to ask yourself, is this thought a fact or a fear? What evidence supports it, and what would I say to a friend? Another strategy is to don't feed the thought, because chemical emotions usually last about 90 seconds unless you keep feeding them. Reduce the triggers, sleep deprivation, excess caffeine, social media overload, chronic stress, isolation. Interestingly, what we're talking about is what is known as CBT, or cognitive behavioral therapy. And the concepts with that are what we have just discussed. Identifying the thought, challenging it, and then replacing it with something more accurate, also known as reframing. And when does it go above where you need to seek a clinical attention, where those persistent thoughts are causing significant distress, such as hopelessness, could be affecting your sleep, work, everyday activities, faith. You're having thoughts of worthlessness, thoughts of self-harm, or to others. If you are experiencing those symptoms, then you should see a healthcare provider at this point, such as a counselor, therapist, or a psychologist. So in a nutshell, you are not your thoughts. You are the observer of your thoughts, and observers can retrain what they observe. The biology explains it. Faith warns about it. Psychology gives you tools for it. Your brain predicts danger. Your job is to predict truth. Stop pacifying your mind and start training it. So I want you to challenge yourself. Don't fight your thoughts. Label them, question them, and then retrain them. Remember, the trains won't stop coming, and they were never supposed to. Your peace doesn't come from stopping the trains. It comes from learning not to board them. Thank you.